Welcome back to the 2 Point Show, where we give you the latest sports rundown. We are your hosts, Gideon and Joey, breaking down stories, giving hot takes, and interviewing athletes around the world. From buzzer beaters to bold predictions, we will give you fresh analysis, real opinions, and some fun arguments along the way. So whether you're tuning in on your drive, in the gym, or simply on your couch, get ready for a good one. This is the 2 Point Show.
We're back on a Friday afternoon with an episode that we've personally never done before. We're combining the 2 Point Show with another podcast, BenchedNBuzzin. Make sure you guys check them out and shout out our guy Vinny for running that show. Vinny, thanks for coming on, man. We're super pumped to have us three running this.
Hey, what's happening, boys? Thanks for having me on. Happy to be here. A lot to talk about. Yeah, it's an honor, and glad that we were able to connect and finally figure something out. Joey and I, we've been planning this out for a while now, and finally here. It feels good to be with you, boys.
Yes, sir. So first we're gonna do the MSU Michigan hoops. Obviously, you know, it's a hot topic in the news for sure. And then we're gonna talk a little bit about the Detroit Tigers and what they're doing. You know, Framber Valdez. We'll dig in a little more.
And then Gideon, tell him about the last one. This is actually Vinny. Vinny, you tell him about this. Vinny, this is your idea. You tell him what we got.
I always like to end my episodes with a fun little question. I figured I'd tell the boys a fun one today would be, what's three current or non-current sports figures that you'd love to go to dinner with? So I think that's going to be a fun one. I got to think of mine on the spot here. I haven't even thought about it. I definitely know a couple, but
I got mine. I'm ready. That's going to be awesome.
I'm ready
too.
The show. I'm ready.
All right. But before we jump into Michigan and Michigan State, here's a quick word from one of our sponsors.
Thinking about buying a home or refinancing your current mortgage? Call Scott Falconer. For 26 years, he's helped people turn home ownership into a stress-free experience. Scott offers conventional, FHA, VA, and first-time options with down payment assistance. Purchase or refinancing also available. His process is affordable, fast, and hassle-free. This also comes with confidential pre-approvals and mortgage consultations. Reach out to Scott today at homeloanbyscott@yahoo.com or call today at 586-243-2555. Again, that's 586-243-2555. And let's get you home. Now back to the show.
All right, fellas, you want to talk about MSU first? You want to talk about Michigan? Well, let's get into it. I mean, MSU had a horrible loss. I guess we can start with that. I mean,
yeah.
What do you guys think about that game?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a little. I mean, I didn't get to watch the game, you know, so I was watching the Oakland game, obviously. So, what I heard was not good. You know, it's not great, and it feels like every year this kind of happens to build up to March, and it's that early February, late January. Michigan State always seems to have a questionable loss, and this is a very questionable loss to Minnesota, who bottom tier of the Big Ten. They're not terrible, but they're not great. So
not good.
Yeah, and it was just, there's a lot of questions with Jeremy Fears, his little whatever you want to call it, but yeah, I mean, Vinny, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been on this team all year, obviously. Started off very hot, tough two losses to Duke and Nebraska to start out, but you know, you kind of figure we'll bounce back here deep in the Big Ten regular season schedule. Then you lose to Michigan. Okay, you know, we can live with that. They're a great team, but you got to bounce back. Tough loss to Minnesota. Something that I kind of want to bring up here is, why is Michigan State starting games so slow? They were down by 16.5 to Michigan. They were down by 10 at half to Minnesota. They were even down by 12, I believe, at half to Rutgers. They ended up winning that game. Very lucky. They ended up coming back in the Michigan game in the second half to take a lead, which is crazy to think about considering that they were down 16. And then they were down by 10 at Minnesota last night. So the way I look at it is this. If you come out starting a little less slow, maybe you're down by 10 to Michigan at half. Maybe you're down by 5 to Minnesota at half. You have a chance to win those games. But in a big game against Michigan down 16, you're never winning. And it's crazy that they were able to come back, like I said. But the way I look at it is this. They come out shooting cold. Kohler has not really been much of a factor. Neither has Cooper. Both freshmen are starting to maybe come along in Jordan Scott and Cam Ward, but guys they're not Jace Richardson yet, and they probably won't ever be. I think Jeremy Fears is playing great basketball. He's a top 10 player in the nation maybe right now. He's averaging over 20 a game. Do I think he's playing a little immature? No doubt about it. I think a lot of it has to do with the team around him and the way that they're performing. A lot of frustration is there, and he's very immature and a young player. And you got to remember, too, when he steps on the floor, most of the guys out there are 23, 24 years old. He's, 20? So a lot of factors going in right now. I wouldn't hit the panic button yet. I would say I need to see a little bit more. Saturday night, it's a big one. You got to win that game. If you win that game, you're back in the conversation. Against Illinois, you're back in the conversation for the Big Ten. You're back in the conversation nationally because you beat a top 5 team finally. But yeah, like you guys said, Minnesota is a team, a road game that you have to chalk that up as a win every season. A team like Michigan will not lose at Minnesota, and that's kind of the thing in the Big Ten is people say that the road games in the Big Ten are tough. That's very true. Unless you're at Minnesota, you're at Rutgers, you're at Northwestern, you're at Penn State. Those 4 games you got to win. Now,
and we almost lost.
I said this to some of my buddies. I go, if you're at Wisconsin, you're at Maryland, at Iowa. Okay, those are going to be some tough Big Ten games. We can live with a loss there, right? But at Minnesota, that's got to be a win, especially after you just lost. So, yeah, I know. I've been kind of beating a dead horse here, but you got to beat Illinois. You got to beat Illinois to get back into it.
Yeah, when I think about what's caused the slow starts, I simply think it comes back to the lack of shooting and the lack of talent. Because you look at Michigan compared to Michigan State, the talent level is night and day. They have 4, maybe 5 guys who can go one-on-one and create their own shot. Michigan State, maybe one
Might
person
not have
in
one.
Jeremy Fears. Maybe.
I wouldn't
Can
even
he rise
consider
up
him
and
a
make
shooter.
a 3? No, he can't make a 3. He's not great like that off the dribble. Nobody is off the dribble good like that at Michigan State. So I think the lack of shooting and the lack of talent is kind of why the slow starts happen for Michigan State, because they rely so heavily on their defense that the offensive side of the ball just can't even get going. So my panic meter, I'm a little worried. I've panicked. I'm at that point where, especially with Divine Ukachukwu, we don't know what's wrong with his foot at the moment. Izzo said it's severe, but we don't know any details at the moment yet. I don't know, man. I think Illinois is. I see a loss coming. I'm not very confident.
99 Divine out is a big problem, considering we don't really have that many great ball movers on the floor, and also considering you have to go to Wojcik now. That's going to be a problem. So Fears is. I think Fears is playing out of his mind. He plays with a lot of heart. He plays with a lot of passion. If we want to dig into his playing style soon, we can. But I think Illinois is a loss. I agree with that. And maybe you can regroup after that game, but it's going to be very tough to lose 3 games in a row. I mean, where do you see Sparty being ranked if they lose to Illinois? I mean, it's not crazy to say they might be around the 20-22 area. Yep. It's sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
Gideon, what do you got on this?
Yeah, we can get in the Fear situation in a bit, but Joey, I just want to go back to what you're saying, the shooting, the slow starts. I guess both of you were saying the slow starts. What's the percentage, do you think, our first basket is a Carson Cooper dunk or a Cohen Card? Seriously, I feel like it's probably 70%. A first basket, and that speaks for itself. There's got to be something. I do like Jordan Scott did play pretty good. He did
play a great game.
Played a great game yesterday. So
I think he's coming along nice. He's definitely earned the right to be a starter, no doubt about it.
100%. Yep. I mean, you talk about Gideon actually told me this the other day, and I'm going to quote Gideon. He says, if you listen to the announcers of every single game, every single color commentator says, yeah, but Michigan State from that 2-guard position, it's just been struggle between Divine, Trey Fort, Kurtang, and Jordan Scott. So, I mean, if I'm Tom, I don't know who the hell to start either. I mean, I think in this slate of the season, it's Scott. He's going to play a lot in March. The guy plays 20 to 25 minutes a game. He needs to play a lot.
Yeah, and I think, Trey Ford, I know he had a hot game against Minnesota, but that's not a guy I'm willing to rely on.
His defense is atrocious.
I'm not willing to, and even moving throughout the lineup, like I'm not willing to rely on Cohen Carr anymore. He's kind of lost my trust. Even though he'll maybe come up with a very quiet 12 points a night, it's not a guy I want to rely on. And I certainly don't want to rely on Jackson Kohler 3-ball. That's not something that I'm looking forward to relying on.
It was good, though. It was.
It was at one point, but
about 5 games ago.
A team like this, I'm just not looking forward to relying on a big man to shoot the 3-ball when you really up and down your roster, you should have a lot better looks going down. So a guy I thought I had a lot more hope for was Cam Ward. He had that wrist injury early on. Before that, he actually was playing some pretty good ball. And now it seems like since he's been hurt, he goes up soft.
His confidence.
Almost like a Kerr-Tang / Cohen Carr type player. There's just not a whole lot to his game right now. Unfortunately, I have a lot of hope for him. Because guys do develop well at Michigan State if he decides to trust the process and stick with it. But yeah, outside of Jordan Scott and Jeremy Fears, there's really not a whole lot of positivity. I mean, I guess Jesse's getting some looks down low, but I said this about the Michigan game. That's not an opportunity for him to go in there and see what he's about. I mean, that's not a game to be experimenting with the lineup down low. I know we didn't really have a choice because he's our biggest center down low, or our biggest big man. But, Michigan wiped the floor up and down low in the paint on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. They shot the ball better. They forced turnovers. Say what you want about the officiating. Michigan found a way to draw some fouls that weren't fouls. That's what great teams do. There's been a lot of old, great Spartan teams that find a way to draw a foul late in the game when maybe it wasn't or questionable call. Great teams find a way to get the job done. You got to give credit where it's due. They go to the Breslin Center, which is arguably a top 5 place to play in the country, and it really wasn't a game. I mean, yes, Sparty went up by 1 mid-second half, and then Michigan went on an 8-0 run to cap that off, and they ran away with it. So, got to give them credit. But with that being said, they're two totally different teams, 2 different coaches, 2 different rosters, 2 different starting lineups with a different age group. So, just up and down. I mean, I explained to my buddies as a JV versus varsity game is honestly what it felt like.
It's true, man.
I'd like to see a hell of a lot more out of Carson Cooper. He's a guy that when he plays average, people speak very highly of him, and I'm getting kind of tired of that. I'm getting kind of tired of the typical had a couple blocks, maybe hit a jump shot or 2, and all of a sudden, he's back. That's not how we operate here when you're a top 10 team. That's expected. Yep. So he needs to find a way to be dominant.
Yeah. Before we jump into Michigan, though, I got to get a quick word from Rochester Mills.
Quick time out to shout out our sponsor today, Rochester Mills Beer Company, holding it down in downtown Rochester. This is the kind of place to stop by after a big win, before the game on TV, or any time you're getting the crew together. Rochester Mills has been part of downtown Rochester for over 28 years, and it's been a staple spot for great food and even better vibes. Whether you're rolling in with family, meeting friends, or just looking for a great meal, Rochester Mills delivers. The food is top tier, the atmosphere is lively, and it's a place that feels right every time you're there. And in their craft beer, brewed right on site, and you've got everything you need for a perfect night out. So if you're looking for a place to eat, hang out, and catch up, make it Rochester Mills Beer Company. Check them out at beercost.com to see the menu, beers, and what's happening next. That is beercost.com. Thanks again to Rochester Mills for sponsoring this video. Now back to the show.
All right, guys. So let's go to the Michigan side of things. They're the transfer portal. They're number 2 in the country, 20-1. They're, I think, the favorite to probably win it all. Probably. Because the reason why I say that is because right Arizona has been so bad in the tournament for the last 20 years. Gideon, where do you stand with this?
Yeah, I don't know if you can. It's tough to look at. Like you just said, Arizona's been bad in the tournament. I don't know if you can play that game anymore because just the change in every team. It's new players. It's, and I think Tommy Lloyd personally is one of the best coaches in the country. And I think they are Final Four good. They're obviously national championship good. But yeah, going back to Michigan, they're my favorite. I mean, you can.
So they're all of our favorites.
You can look at the KenPom stats if you guys are any KenPom gurus. The .2 differential is in Arizona's favor right now, but it's every single game. It just bounces back and forth. Who's number one and number two? So I personally think. I said this last show to Joey. You have to play an A+ game against Michigan, and obviously Arizona's unbeaten and good. That's awesome.
And to add to that point, Wisconsin played an A+ game.
Yeah, they did. But you look at Arizona, they're led by 2 freshmen, right? As good as Jaden Bradley is, he's one of the best point guards in the country, all that. But they're led by 2 freshmen. And you look at Michigan, they have a mixture of youth, of length, of old, of you name it. And that's why they're my favorite, because there's just so many. They're just a real team, they're the portal. And then they have guys like Will Cheddar and Armani Burnett who stick with it and stick the process and know the program through and through.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I said it. Their identity poured all over the court at the Breslin Center, Michigan. Shoot the ball.
That's so
dominate down low.
Such
can clearly play defense against teams that maybe aren't an elite offense like Michigan State. Elliot Cadeau is a guy with a lot of experience. He's been in a lot of big games. He's been in a lot of moments where he's the only guy there. And now you put him in a situation where he's nowhere near the only guy there. I mean, he showed up fierce. He made shots when he was not supposed to make them in that game. He was pulling up from pretty much a little bit south of half court. And that he was making shots when he was not supposed to make them. They have a mix of young talent too that have been recruited the right way. Not transfer guys, not guys that should have gone professional last year. And then you have a mixture of older players that in Lindenberg that is arguably a top 5 player in the country, a first-round draft pick, a guy that is just incredible. So it's very hard to beat a team like that. I agree with what you're saying. Arizona, a team that they've made the Final Four in almost 30 years. They choke every year in March Madness, but it is a different era. Every year you have a different team, so you can't really look at what Michigan State did 10 years ago because it doesn't mean anything anymore. Just like Arizona. Right. But that being said, I think I am taking Michigan. I'm not taking anybody over Michigan right now. They're that good. They're that dominant. We mentioned the Wisconsin game. Wisconsin played a perfect ball game and still almost lost.
Yep.
I mean, Michigan State's never going to shoot the ball that lights out like Wisconsin did in that game. So
correct.
I think it's their trophy to lose. A lot can happen. There's a very good chance Michigan's playing their best ball right now. Will they continue to do it? I'm not sure. You got to hope that Michigan State's maybe at their lowest point of the season. So you factor in how they met they met last weekend. Okay, well maybe Michigan State's got a lot more ceiling to try and reach for. But yeah, I don't see Michigan really losing to anybody. I mean, I think that they're going to drop 1 or 2 Big Ten games because it happens to everybody. But it's their conference. It's their national championship.
I'm just going to jump in right now. They're up 56-24 at halftime right now over Penn State. So
yeah.
There you
I
go.
mean, this is just while we're recording this. I know I said Friday at the beginning, but we are recording this Thursday night.
Yes.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
they're that good, and that it's kind of what I mentioned earlier. You're supposed to beat up on Penn State. You're supposed to beat up on Northwestern. Elite teams will do that, and they're really doing it. It's not a 9-point win, and I think that shows a lot right now for who they are. I think Dusty May too. Don't really respect him a whole lot as a coach when it comes to the transfer, NIL, telling guys to leave the end or to not go pro to come back to college, which is something that Tom Izzo doesn't do. He makes guys go if they're ready. But I do respect him from the idea of he is embracing that modern era of college coaching, college basketball, whatever, college athletics. And he is a prototype of the future of what's to come. And that's why it's almost like Kurt Cinetti in a way where it's like, okay, yeah, you lose Mendoza, but who are you going to pull in next year? You know,
you stole my idea.
And yeah, I mean, Kurt Cinetti's a guy who is going to continue. They could be good every year, forever, because they have the money behind it. They have the coach with the transfer portal identity. And Dusty May has still recruited a couple big-time recruits that are freshmen right now. So they're that team right now. Purdue's not better.
Nope.
Michigan State's not better. Nebraska's not better. Illinois can maybe compete. We'll see what happens there. But Michigan's number one in my book, even over Arizona.
Dude, Vinny, you stole my idea, man. I was literally just about to go, quick little do you think if Michigan wins it all this year, Dusty May is Kurt Cinetti, but of college basketball?
I don't think he is.
Why not?
Because I think you look at Florida Atlantic and James Madison, it's two different programs. And I think when you look at, I have a Kurt Cinetti, I think it's Ben McCollum at Iowa. I think because he's just kind of that old-fashioned nose-to-nose, whatever you want to call it, and he had success at the D2 level, he had success at Drake, now he's at Iowa, and they're having success, but, I mean, Dusty May, I guess they're not like they're coaching, and I think they recruit differently. Cignetti's sticks with the 3-star, 2-star, and Michigan uses the however much. How much do they use for the roster?
Oh, it's got to be $10 million at least.
Probably, yeah, something like that. So he doesn't really use the develop guys. He did develop Vlad Golden, but he got Vlad Golden from Texas Tech. Kurt Cignetti gets guys from James Madison, I guess, and then he develops them to national champions. So,
right, and also, even
That's
to your
true.
point as well, Mendoza came from a dog bleep school of California, and he developed them.
True. I mean,
yeah.
but in Cal, I mean, he did have a good season last year to put himself in a position to go to Indiana. I think
Yeah.
when Cignetti was coming into Indiana, obviously he didn't have any choice but to pull players from JMU because nobody really wanted to play for him because no one knew who he was. Now he had a couple recruits from Notre Dame. He did obviously picked up Nick Marsh. I mean, a lot of guys are looking to go there and play. And I think in a way too, like Indiana's not a football school, Michigan's not a basketball school. Well, but two schools with a serious alumni fan base, serious donors in the mix, big time brands, no matter what sport it is.
Yep.
I wouldn't give Dusty May the credit that Cignetti has right now.
yeah,
I think Iowa is a similar type program to Indiana. Iowa hoops is similar to Indiana football. But I mean, if Michigan does win a national championship, you could make the argument that those two guys, Cignetti and May, are at the top of the future of college football and hoops. On the pedestal, the mountain. So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, obviously Michigan does recruit very well. Still, just because of who they are. As far as how good of a basketball coach is Coach May, that's beyond me. I'm not a basketball, coach or anybody that's crazy on the clipboard, but I know Kirk Cinetti is a hell of a football coach. No doubt about it.
Guys, this is I call him a beautiful psycho. That's my nickname for him. He's a beautiful psycho. So, but yeah, man. You guys want to jump to the Tigers?
yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, man. So, a lot's happened in this last 24 hours, I would say. Gideon, just run it down for us.
Yeah, Framber Valdez comes home, 3 years, $115 million. I mean, you can see we're for real this year, and I say this year because obviously the Scooball hearing, not so great for us, definitely gone. But let's talk about this year.
We got a shot though.
We got a big time shot.
It's simple as that. It's now or never.
Before we move forward though, on the pitching side, You mentioned that we got a real shot. We're legit. Who's going to hit the ball?
That's a good point.
Riley Green. 40 home run Riley Green.
Who's going to hit the ball when you're down 2-1, though, in a playoff game?
Vinny, I'm right there with you. And
go ahead.
I agree with you. I 100% do. But you know how bad we needed a right-handed arm not a right-handed arm, excuse me.
No doubt about it.
A starting pitcher this year. We desperately needed one.
We do.
But yes, I 100% agree with you. We need a bat. We need a bat. We need another outfielder to replace, I think, Parker Meadows. He's been very bad. Or a third baseman. Because it's either you go all in and McGonigal's your guy on the left side of the infield. But what I think will truly happen mid-season, maybe right at the deadline, touch before the deadline, they'll go out and they'll get a bat. They are going to go out and, if they're really all in on this, they should go out and get a bat.
Yeah, I mean,
when it comes trade deadline.
Well, I mean, yeah. What I was going to say though was like, and I'm not dissing the move, the Valdez move. I'm not dissing the idea of Scuba coming back for one more rip at it. I think that's great. I think that shows that, okay, we have a legitimate rotation, arguably up there outside of LA, league-wide, especially American league-wide, a top rotation. You know what I mean? But
right.
I think when you look deep into it, does this mean that we're going to go get a bat before the season at the deadline? It's like I'm not dissing the move. I'm not at all. But I would like to see a little bit more of an offensive game because the last couple of years we have tried to play that 1-0, 2-1 style baseball late in the season when it really matters. And the one thing I'll say about Riley Green, he's a great player. He's an all-star. I think maybe kind of decreased his value this year just because of the amount of strikeouts he had. But he's the kind of guy, he'll hit the ball out of the park when you're up 8-0 every time. But when we really need him, he's not always there. And that goes for a lot of guys up and down the batting order. So it's not just him, not just singling him out. That's why I do think it's important to go get a bat. But again, I even thought last year our defensive side, our fielding was great. Our pitching, yeah, we needed to add, but it wasn't terrible because we had Scooble, who was able to kind of put us in competition throughout any series. So I was never doubting the idea that, we're going to give up 5 runs in a playoff game. That was never going to happen, but we need to find a way to score. And honestly, I think the Tigers are fine playing that way in a 2-1 ball game. They've kind of played chess baseball where it's like really slow, and then all of a sudden in the top of the 8th, they'll strike and score 2 runs off a bunt,
Yeah.
So I think it's an interesting team, but with that being said, now that they make this move with Valdez, it is, and Scooble in the last 24 hours, it is a serious season to try to go for it, and I'm very satisfied because the Pistons, the Red Wings, the Lions, the Tigers have not made any type of trade, free agency, acquisitions at all, and all those teams are in playoff competition.
Correct.
Yeah. When we say add a bat, you do have to realize that what is realistic. We're Detroit. We're not going to pay. What's That's realistic? True. So we do need a bat. You do say Parker Meadows. He's not going to start though. I think it's Matt Vierling's center is definitely going to be the center fielder. I think he will definitely be the center fielder, and then probably Wenzel right, Riley left, Carey DH, whatever. AJ Hinch righty lefty. He can do whatever he wants.
Carey can come alive in the playoffs. He has before.
Yeah,
we saw that last year.
So can Javi.
I guess he can. Who knows? Javi had a hot couple months. I don't know if he definitely was kind of up and down real quick last year, but yeah, as far as kind of what you're saying, we are Detroit. I don't consider us a small market. I consider us middle to top.
Medium.
Yeah. Maybe 8 through 12, somewhere around there. I think is fair.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just going to jump in. We have the 11th highest payroll now after the Valdez signing.
Wow,
so
nice stat guess, Vinny. There you go.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I guess. I wouldn't put us in the top 10. There's obviously some major market teams and some major brands.
Right.
And that's kind of what I said earlier. I go, this is not as good as it can be, But as far as where we're at right now, it's as good as it's going to get for us.
That's
That's kind of what I've been saying when I've been talking to people about this is if you're a Tigers fan, you are very happy because you woke up this morning a couple days ago, and you heard this news, and then you get the Scooble news this morning. That's an opportunity to realize, like, okay, this is as good as it probably could get for us, but we're not the Dodgers, we're not the Yankees. So league-wide, no, but in this city, yes.
I actually, as a Tiger fan, this makes me very happy with this signing of Framber Valdez for one reason. We are probably not going to see many, if any at all, bullpen days. And I was so pissed off with that. We were the only team who had that many bullpen days, even bullpen days in general. Fingers crossed, injuries. But I don't think we're going to see many bullpen days because our starting five rotation, you've got Skubal, Valdez, Flaherty, Mize, and Olsen. And then you've still got guys like, even who can come up for a game to start, Kiter Montero, Sawyer Gibson-Long, Troy Melton could start for sure, 100%. So there's so much depth now at the starting rotation. And another key asset to this signing, you give Jackson Jobe to relax and really take his time recovering from Tommy John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to mention that too, for sure. Like, I definitely want to mention that. It takes a lot of pressure off of a lot of guys who have no business having any of that pressure. No business being in a game 6 or a game 7 of a playoff series with all the weight in the world on their shoulders.
Like Kiter Montero, for God's sake, and Jack Flaherty, for God's sake. That was, that was hell, man. That 1 a.m. game.
We ran out of bodies. I mean, plain and simple.
100%.
We ran out of bodies and we couldn't hit the ball. I mean,
yep.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a win, major win. It's a move that this team has not had a lot of heartbeat for a long time. This team's been, ever since the All-Star break last season, they've been kind of trending down, find a way to sneak in the playoffs, survive that wild card series against Cleveland, put up a pretty good fight against Seattle, but it was not. Then they lost to Seattle. Kind of the way they went out with Skubal too. Many Detroit fans were not satisfied. I know I wasn't.
Correct.
I mean, this is the best news that Tigers fans have received in a very long time.
Right.
Yeah. Remember, I think it was 3 years ago when we traded for Austin Meadows, like a month before the year. I was so excited because I was like, oh, shoot, here's our guy who's going to hit a big home run to sell us to the ALDS, something like that. But I think that this move kind of feels like that, even though it's, I mean, I guess they do play baseball this month, don't they? I think it's like late February.
February 24th.
So there you go. I mean, 3 weeks before, I mean, this, I agree what you're saying, Vinny. Like, this is probably the best news we've heard in however long.
Yeah, I mean, this Skubal situation too is taking a lot of the wind and a lot of the momentum.
I'm glad he won, man. I'm so glad he won.
out of the locker room for sure, amongst the fan
Screw
base.
You, Chris Ilitch. I got one more thing about the Tigers. Actually, I think I want to go back to what I said about Jackson Jobe. He was probably going to come back in September. He does not need to come back at all. Let the dude rest. Let this guy become your next big stud. Simple as that. That's all I got about Jackson Jobe.
Have this rotation, no need to rush really anything.
Yep.
Quick question for you, Vinny. Who's your Tiger?
Right now?
Right now.
Don't say Skubal. Give us a little.
I mean, obviously I want to say Skubal just because he's so good. Man.
All right, we'll let you think. Gideon, who's your Tiger?
See, mine is it was Parker Meadows, but now he's kind of not great. Just because he's fun to watch. He's fun to watch in the field. And he saved our season with the Padres Grand Slam, all that. I love that for him. Now it's probably Wenzel. I mean, the dude is just he's a gamer.
Okay.
I love my gamers. You know.
I mean,
sure.
I mean, is it sad that I'm having a hard time like picking just because I feel like this roster is pretty boring? But I'll go Kerry Bonds. I mentioned he comes alive. All around good guy too.
Yep.
I follow him pretty closely. I mean, I can't sit here and say I love Torkelson. or Javi.
No.
Or Vierling. I mean, a lot of guys. Colt Keith, no.
McKinstry, no. Absolutely not. I cannot do it with Zach. I can't do it.
No, even though he was an all-star.
No, he was an all-star by injury and by lucky charms.
Trey Sweeney, no. I mean, this team, this is again, the roster's pretty boring.
Gleyber
it's not
Torres?
a flashy roster.
Gleyber Torres?
I don't mind Torres. I don't mind.
Yeah, he's okay. Gideon,
Joey,
you
who's
know who
yours?
my favorite is. Gideon, you know who my favorite is. It's not Javi. Pitcher. My boy Troy Melton. He is so gross.
He's a
5-pitch mix. He is going to be so good, guys. I'm telling you. He is so good. The confidence you can have in a playoffs, like how Troy Melton did, he was on fire. He had one bad start. But other than that, he was money. All right. So, final segment. Dinner with 3 sports figures. You're getting a table of 4. You're going to eat at whatever luxurious restaurant you want. You're probably not paying for it. Who are you sitting down with? Gideon.
Well, I'm just going to say we're getting pasta. We're going to have some nice ice cream after that. I think number 1 guy for sure, Tom Izzo. I mean, I think that's self-explanatory. Number 2, Greg Campy. I think
Oh, you warrior.
those two would just
Respect. That'd be a great dinner with those two, though.
amazing.
Respect.
Yes. And then my number 3 was a little...
Golke?
I not Golke, but I'm going to go Magic Johnson. I think he would just have so many things about the Lakers, Dodgers, his days, you name it. So, there we go.
Great.
Vinny?
Yeah, we'll go Tom Izzo. I mean, that's got to be everybody's number 1, right? Come on. Izzo. First thing, we're having pizza. Pizza's number 1.
Okay.
Pizza and ice
Detroit
cream.
style or what?
We'll go. I like tavern style. It's like the thin square.
Nice.
Yeah.
But we'll go Tom. Tom Izzo's there, no doubt. Patrick Kane, favorite athlete of all time.
Ooh, okay.
Blackhawks legend, 3-time Stanley Cup champion, current Detroit Red Wing, most points scored by an American of all time. And
You can say that again.
last, maybe wouldn't expect this, but my boy Kevin Durant.
Ooh, easy
Wow.
money.
He seems like a good dude. Chill guy. I wanted to say
All right.
Draymond, but I don't want to keep it all. I don't want to keep it all MSU.
I got technically one MSU guy, if you think about it, but it's not Izzo. We're having steak. We're having a
There you go.
big boy meal. We're going luxurious. And all right, first guy was a Michigan State guy at one point, the GOAT of college football, Nick Saban. Just
Okay, respectable.
I think he would be such a cool dude to have it with. Number 2, the GOAT of golf. Give me Tiger Woods. Just, I think talking about his stats and what he does compared to nobody else, I could talk about that for years. Lastly, this guy's paying for the meal. You guys are gonna, oh my god, Dennis Rodman.
All right.
Wow.
There wasn't
What a
expecting.
table! What a table!
Tiger Woods would be sick just because there's not.
Can
a
you
better
imagine
sport
a
to
table with
dominate at than
Dennis
golf.
freaking Rodman, dude? How funny would that be?
I was not expecting you to say any of those guys. I was definitely expecting Tom Izzo though.
Yeah.
Nope.
I
think
I get uncomfortable with Dennis Rodman because he would just say so many out-of-pocket things.
I think it'd be so funny. Oh man, what an episode, fellas! That's gonna
real
conclude
quick,
this
one thing I want to
episode.
ask you guys:
Yeah, man.
what's the ceiling for? I mean, we all said Michigan number 1. You know, their ceiling's national championship. Where's Michigan State's ceiling right now?
Sweet 16.
Elite Eight.
I was gonna go Sweet 16. I'm not
Maybe
ready to win.
first weekend.
I'm going to say Elite Eight because, I mean, they lost to Minnesota, but I think they can beat anyone below them.
Yeah.
And I think they will beat anyone below them when it comes to March.
Fair.
But they're not going to be anyone above them.
Do they have
They need
any
an upset.
chance to make the Final Four?
Nope.
At all?
Nope.
If Nebraska's the 1 seed, then yes. I think they do.
I think Nebraska
in their
falls to a
bracket.
3 seed.
Yep. We're
I
gonna
don't
be a
think
4.
they won't be a 1. Who are the ones? Arizona, UConn, Michigan.
Duke.
Yeah, Duke, yeah. I mean,
All right.
yeah. Wrap it
Duke,
up.
maybe.
If MSU gets put with any 4 of those teams in a region, they're not winning, which they will. So that's
Correct.
sad. But all right.
All right.
Hey,
Well,
great job, boys.
that's gonna do it for this episode. Shout out Vinny. We're gonna be doing this more often. This was a blast, man. We had a fun time here. I love you guys. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Yeah, man. We'll get this out and make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna be getting clips out from this whole video and everything. Tune in. We got merch. We're gonna keep bumping that out. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.